Brandy, you weren't with us Friday morning, so quick commentary on Panthers Storm 1 in Golden Point. I will ask you this. It was a text actually from Wally. Very good point. He said, was it the loss Penrith needed to have, or is it the beginning of the end? Oh,
yeah, I don't know. But that was the end of the 9-game winning streak. So, and it was a fantastic game. I think we all agree that it was a terrific game. Penrith had the best of the footy in the first half and did lead 12-4, but that flipped around, territory changed, and Melbourne came up with some great tries. Xavier Coates. What do you say about Xavier Coates? Like, he is just an outstanding player, isn't he? And this one from Freshwater Stormer, I'll throw a text message in on the back of it. He says, at what point did the media stop blaming Harry Grant for the penalty on Thursday night and put the onus on Leota? Freshwater Stormer, I agree with that. Like Moses moved. If Moses didn't move, well, something different might have happened. But Moses moved. I think you've got a right to stand where Moses stood, but you can't move. Once you move, well, the penalty will go against you.
Well, once he moved, he absolutely gave himself up to Ash Klein. But by the rules of Graham Annesley, I don't know, because Brandy wasn't with us the other day. The original case closed quote comes from a similar situation where Graham Annesley said, no, this is how we're going to rule now. So even if Moses Leota stood still, even if he stood still in that position, it would have been no field goal. This was the original Graham Annesley quote.
Blocker, kicker, case closed.
Yeah, but
obstruction.
No, that's it. That's how they now rule it, Brandy.
But don't you think Moses was far enough away from the play the ball?
They don't think he was. They don't think he was.
Well, that rule sucks.
Well, that's right. Yeah, coming to the party late. That's what we said on Friday, and and we congratulated
Freshwater Stormer. Yeah, Freshwater Stormer. You're right. Moses wears the responsibility for that because he moved.
So. But they would have anyway. But we gave Nathan Cleary a rap on Friday for the way he presented his case post-game. He was presenting the common sense argument, and I thought he was very eloquent. He wasn't shouting and screaming and ranting. But then Harry Grant equally was very eloquent in presenting the case, saying almost to the point where I don't like the rule, but that is the rule, and I know the rule.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect for it. There's a lot of respect between those two players. Might be the two best players in the competition.
Let's move along to the second game in order from the weekend. Warriors end whatever hopes the Dragons had of the finals. Incredibly, the concussions of the Dragons. This is an issue out of the weekend. So 2 Category 1s in one hit, yet the ground manager said you can't activate your 18th player until the end of the 15 minutes. That makes no sense. They're Category 1s.
No.
How does that work?
That's right.
What a blunder.
Yeah,
how could that work?
I don't know how it passed, how it got... Why didn't the Dragons go down onto the sideline and demand that they be allowed to put...
It wasn't the end of it. Like, that's not the thing that decided the game.
No, it wasn't.
But that's something we need to address because that could happen again. That can't be right. On the performance itself, the Warriors now are back in the 4.
They are.
Are they a top 4 side?
Well,
I'm saying
that doesn't matter.
I'm saying it's a bad win.
They're in the 4.
Penrith I'm going to make this statement. Penrith were twice as good in defeat as Warriors were in victory on Friday night.
Okay, if the 3 players don't get carted off with HIAs, do the Dragons go on to win? What I will say is the Dragons took advantage of what the Warriors offered them, and the Warriors made the Warriors made 5 or 6 mistakes in that opening 20 minutes, and the Dragons were good enough to capitalise on that with 2 tries to Matt Fionney, and lead 10-0. They ran into a bit of I thought Hame Sello, who came onto the field for the injured players, he was one of their best players while he was on the field. Then he got carted off. So the Warriors 2 tries to Adam Pompey, who was defensively poor in the first half, came up with 2 tries. That was enough to get them the win. And they now sit in 4th spot. They play the Titans and Eels and Manly. They could finish in that. Could be it.
They should.
Titans, Eels, Manly.
If you don't beat all 3 of those sides, well, you don't deserve to be in the top 4.
No,
but they can. Yeah,
doesn't matter whether you deserve or you don't deserve.
Right.
If you finish in the top 4, you're in the top 4.
Now the Roosters, I've wrapped Canberra a lot this year, saying there's no team I like to watch more than the Raiders this year. But I tell you what, when the Roosters get it right, you don't want to miss a Roosters game with their attack. That's a great win. But Bulldogs are the story. Now I can't give him up. It's a family member. He's a Bulldogs fan.
Yep.
He doesn't have them winning another game this year. He has them missing the 4. Cameron Serraldo.
Is that a crisis?
Is that a crisis? That's crisis line. When a Bulldog supporter has given up on them, family member. Shout out to Scott.
So they play the Storm, the Panthers, and they finish with the Sharks.
Yep.
So hang on. So your family member that is a dog supporter.
That's it.
Doesn't think the Sharks. Doesn't think they can get over the Sharks.
No.
After losing those two,
he has them losing, so missing the 4. But that's another story. Cameron Serraldo, he's probably more important than my family member, brother-in-law Scott.
What does Cameron think?
Yeah, what does Cameron think about the team performance against the Roosters?
The last month has been disappointing, and I sort of blame myself there because we guys carrying niggles and that, and they just get through training instead of actually training, and I'm going to stop that. If you can't train, it sort of results in a performance like that. So we've got a deep squad. We've got a lot of good players that didn't play tonight. So if we don't want to prepare to win, then I'll put someone in that does want to prepare to win.
Everyone's just
Who's he talking about?
Well, kind of Tracy, I guess, who probably didn't train. He came back from injury from that stomach injury. There could be others that haven't trained, but that's what this time of the year is. The season is way too long. I love it. I love the footy season, but the season on the players is way too long. Sticky taping them together to get to the end of the season. It is survival of the fittest. Who can still be putting their best team on the park? We've still got 3 rounds to go.
Yeah.
It's the Melbourne Storm, by the time they get to finals, will have played 12 straight. 12 straight.
Round.
Andrew, I don't want to bring it down because I agreed. I loved watching the Roosters and how the Roosters have come good since Sam Walker returned. Yeah. So he had try assist 14 and 15 on Friday night and in only 6 games.
Okay, I've got to pin you on one thing about the Bulldogs. I asked the same question last week. I made the point. I don't think Reid Marnie is a 14 to 17 player. Is Reid Marnie going to Melbourne to play that role, or is that just a waste of a bench space?
I think it's a waste of a bench spot.
You're not going to get.
You're not
winning Melbourne to play a secondary dummy half for 25 minutes. They need some other aspect to their play. So what are they doing, Bulldogs?
I don't know if Satili Tupanua is fit this week, but from the way Cameron Serraldo's talking, he's not going to risk any players that are carrying injuries. I don't think Reid Marnie, if they're locked into Bailey Hayward as their 9.
Yep.
They've got players that can fill in at dummy half if necessary, so they don't need Reid Marnie. They need another forward.
Okay, all right. And the last one in this round and review, Sharks v Titans, there's not a whole lot to say. 54-22. Cronulla, parts of their game, very, very good.
Yes.
Very good.
Good to see some confidence.
Hines,
Trindle,
Kennedy.
They need confidence. After the month that they've just had, they needed something like that. I think the confidence they gained out of that will have them a better side for the next 3 weeks than what they were for the last month, Andrew. So I think it's a good thing for the Sharks.
Yeah, and where does that leave Des? By the way, where does it leave Tino at the moment? Because he's getting tossed about that. We actually could hear from Tino. He was asked about his future, and that's going to be asked every week now.
Of course it is.
It's just a distraction away from it all.
Of course it is.
So where's Tino on his future?
Yeah, I'm at the Titans. I'm dedicated to play well for my coach and for everyone involved within the Titans. Haven't looked into a lot of it's media, and that's my manager dealing with that stuff. But I'm here, and I'm dedicated to the next 3 weeks to really get wins and get a bit of pride in our jersey. And I just want to get back playing football. Been out for the last month with my knee, so not worried about any of that external stuff.
Next 3 weeks? What? I thought you had a 10-year contract.
I'm
here to serve out for 10 years, is it? Next 3 weeks.
That's
sorry, beg your pardon?
That's not exactly a vote of confidence, is it? That
No.
I'm here for the next whatever. But, well, he can't say that because he mightn't be. So it doesn't matter. Can I just say, Daniel Tupou, what a star.
Oh, right, back to that. We're back to Daniel Tupou.
Sure. I didn't get to mention Daniel Tupou. 3 tries on the weekend.
Sure.
He is fantastic.
Battle of Brisbane. Early in the second half, Dolphins 28, Broncos 14, full-time Broncos 38, Dolphins 28. If they're a stock, are you buying the Broncos or not? You buying them?
Yeah. No, I think I am. Yeah. I think I am. I thought the Battle of Brisbane was an exhibition, one of the great exhibitions of attacking talent.
Agreed.
The tries that were scored were incredible. Reece Walsh played, I think, his best game of the season. Only one error. And that's a good thing for Reece Walsh. Stags up against Hamiso. You had Trey Fuller playing his first game of the year, scoring an incredible.
Wow. What a play.
What about that individual try? He 70-metre run, beating tackles, beating forwards, running through the guts of the Brisbane defence, and then beating Reece Walsh. Avarillo was very good. So I just thought it was a great spectacle. It was a great game to watch.
And live ladder throughout the match, if you're watching the Fox League coverage. I mean, once Broncos are out of the 8, like that potentially was the story. And now they're back in, and you're even saying, well, could they make the 4?
Well, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
That's how big it was.
It went try for try, and then to start the second half, the Dolphins just exploded out of the blocks and scored 2 tries. But Brisbane too good in the end.
Rabbitohs Eels, the last game on Saturday night. You talk about your great little fullbacks, and Trey Fuller is that. Jai Gray for the Rabbitohs, magnificent. I thought Wayne Bennett was in good form after the game. He had a couple of good answers, Wayne Bennett. He was feeling pretty good about things, the Rabbitohs beating the Eels 20 points to 16. He had Cody Walker sitting beside him. He talked about the return of Cody Walker. This was Wayne.
Well, it was good to get him through a game. That's why I started him late. We couldn't get him to finish a game. It might be his new position now. 50 minutes. 50 minutes, Cody.
It's got the sound of that, Cody. 50 minutes a game, same paycheck?
Nah, I was looking up at the box after 10 minutes thinking, when am I getting on? But
See, that's Wayne on a roll there. Happy Wayne.
Wayne was happy.
Players
it was a good win. It was a good win by the Bunnies.
But then,
because it was, the Eels have been travelling pretty good.
Yeah, but then with the win, they kicked clear from wooden spoon position. And, of course, that was always going to be asked post-game. And, again, Wayne's on a roll. He's got the audience eating out of his hand.
When that win means that you're probably not going to get the wooden spoon, is it a relief?
it probably does.
I mean, very likely.
We're very unlikely, isn't it? Will we have a party now, or will we have it later? That's great. The lost for words. I'm very pleased for you.
Cody Walker came up with a couple of classy moments. Jai Gray was outstanding, and and Tallis Duncan was too. Tallis Duncan scoring 2 tries. It was the Tallis Duncan and Jai Gray tackle on Isaiah Iongi after Lomax's try.
Oh, yes.
They had a chance. I thought the way Iongi was running and the fact that he got in between both players, I thought he's going to slide into the in-goal area. They pulled him up dead in his tracks. So those 3 players were good. Jai Arrow was outstanding. Zach Lomax couldn't have done any more to get Para a win.
Quick question. Dylan Brown, headed to Newcastle, of course, 14 million over 10 years. Left centre, what's doing? Like, I've seen nothing
Not much.
now. Like, Jason Riles made that call weeks and weeks ago, and now for the last 2 weeks has brought him back playing left centre, and it's just like fish out of water stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he would be capable and have some presence, but apart defensively, he's okay, but boy, oh boy, what's the point? What is the point?
None. There's no point.
No.
There's no point. I'd go back to the statement that I made a month ago. The future is now.
Yeah.
Dylan doesn't need to be playing centres.
All right, 2 games played on Sunday. The 2 o'clock game, Tigers over Seagulls. Well done, Tigers. Wooden spoon, distant memory. They're not getting that. In fact, they're still mathematically a chance of the 8. But Manly is the story, aren't they?
Manly's the story, and we've spoken about Manly a fair bit. Let's talk about the Tigers and the fact that they now have won 4 out of their last 6 games. So it's been a very good month and a half for the Tigers. I said yesterday, and we said as commentary as the game was unfolding, Adam Doueihi just might be the missing piece for the Tigers. I thought his energy level, scored the first try. He ran the ball consistently in the first half, and not that he made many line breaks, but he challenged the defence. He got quick play the balls. I thought Doueihi's energy was great. I thought Jerome Luai was good in the second half. So that's a good sign. Buller, Appy, who played well, always plays well, Appy. Yeah. It's a good spine. I like it.
I'm going to be, this is a little tongue-in-cheek, but if Lockie Galvin, in some sort of weird parallel universe, came back to the Tigers this week, Lockie Galvin and Talon De Silva, they don't get spots in the team, do they?
Probably not. No.
I'm just throwing that in there.
No, that's what I mean. Like
they don't get.
I think Adam Doueihi. I think they've
moved on.
Found their man to play 7, and Latu Fainu can come on and just add a little bit. But Adam Doueihi, well done.
And last game of the weekend, Cowboys and Knights. Sorry time for the Knights. The away trips. Joel Kane's one here on SEN Run Home with Joel and Flitz talks about teams out of contention and away trips. They can,
Never
they can
good.
stink the joint up, and that's what the Knights did yesterday.
Well, the
They
Titans
stunk
did.
joint
The
up.
Titans travelled to Cronulla.
Yeah.
Terrible. Knights, just nothing.
Yeah.
Just
They compete, but at the moment it gets a bit hard. Just boom, it's gone.
Yeah, they can make it look like they're trying, but they're not really. That's just
that's right.
They're going through the motions.
They're trying, but they're not trying as hard as they would as if they were in contention.
They're playing like a training run, and teams oppose sessions, and we've spoken about this. Teams can train very hard, and that's all Newcastle are doing. They're just going through the motions. They
sad.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys get a big win at home and maybe a chance to finish. In fact, the Cowboys-Tigers, I'm really looking forward to Sunday at Leichhardt Oval, getting along to Leichhardt Oval. 20 years on, the celebration of the premiership win. That's one of the many good games to watch, but Friday night's the big one. Now that we done and dusted round 24, round 25, Thursday night, Rabbitohs Dragons, but then Friday night, an incredible double, Mudgee, Penrith, and the Raiders, and then to Melbourne for Melbourne and the Bulldogs. The best Friday night we've ever had.
Best.
Ever.
Best. Boys, the surfing night, he's a Newcastle fan. He said they were disgraceful yesterday. We've got injuries, yes, but the Rabbits have also, and look how they played. They're just having a crack. Knights just don't want to be there. No cohesion, no pride in the jersey. And spoon specials, says the surfing night. Does O'Brien stay after that?
Well,
surely not, says the surfing night.
Look, storylines of the week, and obviously we'll unpack it all here on SEN. If anything happens, you can have your say. But I think all three coaches who lost big on the weekend will not be sleeping easy this week. Des,
they won't want to
Anthony
repeat of it.
Seibold, Adam O'Brien. I don't think they're feeling good about things with 3 rounds to go.
No.
They'd be fearful of what happens the last 3 weeks. Based on the performance on the weekend.
No, you're
You'd be
right.
thinking, is that it?
Well, if they get flogged again in the same manner they did this weekend, well, there's got to be questions. There's got to be, and they would be nervous.
Yes, and then there's Daly Cherry Evans, which was going right back to the start of our show. If you want to go back to the podcast, it was our Ream Hot topic for the day. There were signs yesterday, particularly post-match, an exchange Daly had with his wife on the fence. It was like very much last game era. It's like he was breaking news. No, that's it, love. I'm done. And there was a very extended conversation. It seemed quite emotional. I thought, that's a bit strange. 3 weeks from the end of the season. He's playing on next year. Why, like it's not the end of the road for Manly. It's not a home game.
You are jumping to a conclusion.
Well, I am, but because it was unusual.
Yep.
Then during the game, the reaction to the era of the past to Ben Trebojevic, it was emotionally a little over the top for Daly Cherry Evans. So, yes, maybe I'm looking into it. I haven't spoken to Daly, but I thought putting those two pictures together, I thought there's a player going to announce his retirement.
Stay tuned.
Well, just saying.
I don't think so.
But this week's meant to be a week of celebration, 350 games.
And we've had a number of texts come in and say, well, what is happening? We don't know. No one knows. There's not many that know. Daly Cherry Evans knows, Trent Robinson, Nick Politis. I don't think there's many outside of that. This one, do I go to the reptile? I will. G'day, Shaggers. I haven't even read it. It come through. I think this will be one of the first times we've have mass sackings at the end of the season of coaches. Full stop. Seibold, Des, O'Brien, Todd Payton, all be sacked at the end of the year. He's got 4 coaches. Jeez, a ruthless caper, isn't it, reptile? Well, who's apart from Josh Hannay, who's been mentioned about getting a job?
Well, I tell you one person. I tell you one person who might get in the mix. We never mentioned. He's going to be our Throwback Thursday guest. Can I leave that out of the bag this week?
Yeah.
Nathan Kalis. Now, Nathan Kalis, I didn't realise until I looked at, like, great playing record, of course, New Zealand captain and Parramatta captain. I don't think anyone's captained the Eels more than Nathan Kalis, a couple of grand finals. But his coaching apprenticeship is quite lengthy. And he's still at Parramatta at the moment, but he served time at the Roosters and that. I think Nathan Kalis might have some runs in the board. When do we start talking about Nathan as a potential NRL coach? I mean, if the idea is that you have a bit of breathing space between your playing career and when you enter the coaching ranks, Nathan's done that and has just put year on year coaching, had some decent mentors around him. Bellamy at the Roosters, Trent Robinson.
I don't know.
Wayne Bennett, he played under Wayne Bennett in World Cup.
Yep.
So just going to throw that out there, but that's all still to come. Thank you for
You
the
know what
text,
else is still to
Brett
come? Morgan Turanui to
Yes.
talk about the Wallabies win in Johannesburg on the weekend.
But Noddy next. The Tigers. The Tigers not just winning the NRL, they won the NRLW as well. Giddy up.
You know, Michael, doctors say a proper breakfast includes eggs, bacon, and breakfast with Vossy and Brandy. So get your daily fix through our socials and listen live on SEN Radio.